I have a lot of experience getting into my family's business. I did it 4 times. The first, the first time, I graduated Cornell Engineering in '78, and I went to work at Polaroid in Boston. And my career was going great. I was working actually with Dr. Land in his private laboratory, so everything was great. Then I received what I call the call. My dad called and said, I'm getting older, I'm ready to retire, it's time for you to come into the business. I said, sure. I thought it was a great idea. So I went down to New York, the business was in New York, and 3 years later, I needed to get another job. So I went to business school, I went to the Wharton School, and then I worked elsewhere again, went back in, and the problem that we had was several-fold. First, and these are the lessons that I learned from having made several attempts at trying to succeed in the family business. The first, I guess, is that studies have shown that if the age difference between generations is 25 to 35 years, you have a much, much higher chance of not working because the life cycles are just misaligned. The younger generation is coming in expecting to get significant authority and start a succession plan, and the older generation just isn't ready to go. In fact, in my consultancy, I had a case where there was an 85-year-old leader, and his kids were retiring before him. So, and then the last time I came into the business, it was as a fiduciary to my mother. They were going through a divorce, and the only way she'd let the money ride and keep the business intact without selling it was if I came back to the company to oversee how it was being run, where the money was going, and needless to say, that was a recipe for disaster. And
that's
and we were sold by force through a divorce court a couple of years later. To give you an idea of the scope, our legal bills were $3 million.